AAA forecasts around 43.5 million people will be traveling next week over the Thanksgiving holiday.
Many people have made their reservations already, but are still looking for good holiday deals, and that leads us to some advice from Adam Schrager in this week's Call for Action segment.
Hello.
Hello, Adam.
Who doesn't want good deals?
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, we're always looking for good deals. So many people are booking travel for themselves these days, looking online for the best deals in hotels, airfare, and rental cars. We have an example of the latter that just happened this week with our Call for Action volunteers getting involved. It concerns Dan, who had made a car reservation with the travel site Hotwire. A few days later, he received an email about a lower cost rental, so he jumped on it, only to find that he could not get out of the first one immediately afterwards. Now, Hotwire initially declined to give him a rebate on the first reservation, so he called for action. One phone call from our volunteers later, and he got $383 back. And it happens to be a person we know well.
Yeah, that's the same story like your dad had.
It was my dad. And I'm telling you, Jeff, our Call for Action volunteer, saved our Thanksgiving. Because, Adam, my dad was on the phone all day trying to get that resolved.
And it took him, what, 20 minutes?
And Jeff had it resolved in 20 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you be careful, because Hotwire says somewhere in very small print that they don't ever give refunds.
And really, the important lesson to this is you have to read the fine print.
Yep.
No matter what you're doing, you have to read that fine print.
All right, the other major issue with the holidays coming up is shopping, and a warning coming from police to consumers.
Yeah, this was an interesting thing. I was talking to the Cottage Grove police chief about this issue, and it's particularly interesting. There is a concern of identity theft out there. People are always looking for the best deals, and retailers want to ensure they get it at their locations. But as we found out from one local police chief, there is at least one specific warning that he wanted us to pass on to consumers.
A lot of department stores are going to have credit card offers that you get a discount and that kind of stuff. When you're sitting at that cash register and the clerk wants to type in that information, don't say that out loud. Write it on a piece of paper, and then make sure you get that piece of paper back from the clerk with your personal identification, because you never know who's roaming around that cash register that's looking for that type of information.
It is great advice from Chief Hughes. You always want to keep your personal information as personal as possible, so be careful who you share it with and how you share it this holiday season.
That is terrific advice. Okay, how about today's spam report?
We're enjoying the spam report.
We are.
Yeah. So this is the best of the worst spam emails that our viewers have submitted. Now, I tend usually to give the spammers points for creativity. I like it when they're creative. But today's submission is simply annoying because it takes an important issue and corrupts it. Before we go further, if you want folks to be aware of an email that you've received in the past, you can send it to me at aschrager@wisctv.com. We'll put it on to warn other News 3 viewers. Without further ado, here is today's entry from Johanna. The email she got was from a Ms. Kate James, and it's titled 2014 Conference Invitation. On behalf of ICRO, the International Child Rights Organization, it is my honor, it reads, to invite you to the International Conference meeting on violence against children, child labor. It goes on to say sex trafficking. It's taking place in Dakar, Senegal, West Africa, from January 27th to the 31st. A good time of year to go to West Africa.
Sure.
It goes on to encourage Johanna to send her passport information to an AOL email address. Now, there is no organization by that name. There is no conference going on then. Warnings to consumers have been sent out from law enforcement in both Europe and the United States about it. It's pretty low. I would think we would all agree to use child exploitation to try and scam someone out of their money. Please do not fall for this. If you have any consumer stories you want the Call for Action volunteers to help you with in the future, you can always log on to the website, channel3000.com, or you can call 608-270-2833. You can reach the volunteers at that number in person from 11 to 1 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Check the Google search, see if there's an organization like that.
That's all it takes is a simple Google search. Any search engine really will come up with that.
And an AOL address?
It's always. If you're an international nonprofit, you're not emailing from an AOL address.
Okay, thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Yep, they're doing amazing work. Now we have the proof.
There you go.